Okay, yeah, it's gonna be fast. Hello, my name is Jason Che. Welcome back to another video. This is day 247. Today we're gonna be talking about whatever the fuck we want. 65 subscribers. Welcome to another subscriber to the Bagwork channel. Okay, yeah, random stuff to say. 247. Yesterday we went out, which was pretty cool. Wait, yeah, last night. Yeah, went out. Pretty cool. But basically, um, it's kind of cool, being able to do all this stuff, have all this work, you know, coming up to be able to do. It's kind of like, you have purpose to work towards. But I am needing to get back in check. I want to focus more on my health, my well-being, more about me, Um, and one thing that I'm learning to kind of do, I feel like this year I've basically evolved out of the entire 17 previous years of development that I've experienced. Whereas now it's like, I'm just a completely new person, which, has its positives. It also comes with its negatives. Like, I am just not the same man I was. You can look at that good or bad. Um, but yeah, it's all a matter of just relearning or, unlearning the previous things that have been holding me back or have been, diminishing me of my potential, and trying to swap that out with a more effective and healthier manner. One thing I could definitely say for sure is just my everlasting cope to want to make sense of everything. you know I always saw in those philosophical books, Confucius always talked about it, the Taoist mind, and Marcus Aurelius, they always talked about, stop trying to make sense of everything. And I thought that never really made sense. I thought it just meant like stop trying to overcomplicate things. But, I realize now, our human conscious was never really meant to comprehend the full, vast knowledge of the universe. Our minds are, there is only a physical limit to which our comprehension stems to. We cannot grasp the entire concept of anything, beyond ourselves. So things like, the mind itself, subconscious, how we think, why we think, all this stuff, and especially things out of our control, it's so much easier to just move on when you stop trying to just make sense of it all. It doesn't matter as much as it does affect you. Um, Trying to make sense of it doesn't help the problem at all if you think it does. And it's as hard as it is for me to communicate that to you, because it's something that I kind of just have to live through rather than just, this isn't just something I thought about. It's kind of, these are kind of lessons you learn from experiences you go through in your life. And it's things like that that really help to grow me as a person. So, yeah, let's just cheers to more of those. But yeah, it's about time that I started taking care of myself again. So yeah, that's about it for today. It's 11:30. I'm gonna go to sleep now. Gotta go to work tomorrow. We went to work today. You know, same old, same old. It's a little nice like that, to be honest. The routine, just same thing every day. So one thing I would like to do is try and fixate my diet to roughly the same things. Um, I really like the idea of like the Japanese diet. Not on some glazing stuff, but just the way they do it is just really practical, and it makes a lot of sense. And I'm always, the kind of guy who likes to eat a lot of variety. I'd rather have like a little plates of a little bit of everything, as opposed to one big bowl of just, one thing on it. And like, Southeast Asians eat a lot like that, where they just have a bunch of mixed dishes and kind of pick at each and every one of them. So yeah, the idea of that, I always had this thought by myself, literally just me. No one's ever agreed with me on this, but I was like, there should be a restaurant that just had one bite foods. Like, let's say you were having a craving for anything, they just make one bite foods. It's probably why I like sushi so much, with their one bite, and it's cool, a lot of variety. And also like course, meals like Michelin meals where it's like 20 courses or whatever. Those are pretty cool. But there should be like a more affordable version for like any food. Like I'd be craving like some shit and I'd just be picking out like each bite, bro. And I just get one bite of it, and that's all I want. That'd be fucking beautiful. But yeah, we gonna keep up this lifestyle, I guess, till the end of the year. So I got nothing else going for me anymore. Like confirmed. So yeah, let's just see where this goes. This is day 247. See y'all boys tomorrow. Peace.